Hi guys, my name is Kennedy. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, people call me Ken, so you can too, because we're cool like that. You know, you clicked on my video, you're gonna subscribe to my channel, so now you can call me Ken, my nickname. So yeah, if you are new, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on my post notifications so you know when I upload. You don't want to miss the uploading day, do you? No, you don't. Okay, so in today's video, what we are going to be doing is talking about the obvious right now, which is obviously the Black Lives Matter movement. So, a little background in case you have been living under a rock for the past 3 weeks. But on May 25th, it was May 25th, I think, George Floyd was murdered in Minneapolis by Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin and 3 other police officers who like stood by, watched, complicit in his murder. You know the drill, right? So in the aftermath, especially in the first week after, or in the subsequent week, there was a lot of protests, especially in the city of Minneapolis itself. There were a lot of protests, people going onto the street. There were riots. There was some looting, even though a lot of the like rioting and the looting and the breaking storefronts and all that was done by not the protesters themselves, but more so like the agitators for the cause and the movement, and people who just wanted their 5 seconds of opportunity to be in a protest and smash a building or smash a storefront window or break into a car, or people who were like purposely opposed to the protests and were doing it to agitate the police and then leave the Black people who were, you know, justifiably protesting, leave them to clean up their mess, basically.
So it's alright. Oh my God, you on camera? That's how you that. We caught that. You wildin'. Yo, that nigga. Yo, what's your name? What's your badge number? What's your badge number? What's your badge number?
What's your badge number?
Yo, what's your badge number? You wildin' right now. What's your badge number? I think niggas need that. Yo, crazy.
Hey, yo, say that.
So there was all of that, and then social media. Obviously there was an outroar on social media, as there always is when police brutality happens and another Black man or woman gets killed, even though they were innocent, or even though that the crime they did commit wasn't, you know, didn't deserve death. So in the aftermath of that, on social media, it was Black Lives Matter. There's a lot of like trends, like the black squares and the Blackout Tuesday, which ended up only, you know, like drowning out our movement because people were using the wrong hashtag, and it was like 2 different competing flyers happening around. And then there's a lot of people saying like, oh, like all lives matter, no, like I'm gonna support the looting, I'm gonna support the protests. But then we're like, why are you focused on the looting and not the Black people being killed in the street and all that jazz? And then there was a whole like amplify Black voices where popular creators were muting themselves in their regular content to, you know, not like take attention away from the movement and take attention away from, you know, all the content and all the Black people who are speaking out at this time. Oh, y'all, my knees hurt. I'm gonna sit on my knees. Okay, so then am I missing something? So yeah, it was basically, especially in the first week, it was all on your timeline, only Black Lives Matter, only posting this, only posting that. But then as the second week rolled around, a little bit more of what people would say like normal content, even though I don't know what's really like normal about. I feel like normal is just a way of saying, oh, but people are still dying, but we're not just talking about it as much. So I don't really like the word like normal content. But the second week, it was less of a focus. And then especially now, we're really calling for justice for Breonna Taylor's murderers, because her murderers are still cops right now. They haven't been arrested, they haven't been detained, they're not in police custody. And then now, I think in the past like 3 days, 3 people have been hanged, like found hanging in a tree. Tovin, the girl who was like protesting, the 19-year-old black girl, was found molested and then murdered. And it's just, I think I've seen about like 6 other hashtags and other people who have died in the past like 3-4 days. So there's a problem, but we already knew there's a problem, you know. Ever since slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, we knew there's been a problem. But this is kind of, especially after George Floyd's murder, people have been putting a lot more attention to it than normal. So here we are. That leads me to this video. So if you do know, I took a break from content for a while. I was definitely posting every Sunday in the spring, and then I think now this is my 3rd missed uploading day. Today's a Wednesday, and I think I missed 3 Sundays of posting because obviously I didn't want to post like the video I had planned, and then I had to make a Black Lives Matter video, which is this video. So here's my video. Here's me putting my face on YouTube again since this has happened. And then today we're not going to focus on recounting events, because I more so gave you guys a summary of that just now. Today we're going to be focusing on petitions and ways we can help. So in this video, I am going to be signing every petition I can find. And this isn't just like George Floyd petition, this isn't just Minneapolis or Minnesota petition. This is for Black women, especially for Breonna Taylor, for Black trans lives. It's Pride Month right now, especially. This is like the wide variety of Black Lives Matter, the intersectional title of Black Lives Matter in those petitions. So let's get into it, because I feel like it's really easy, especially for myself. Like if you follow me on Instagram, I'll put it right here, I was like only posting that type of content like along with like the rest of the world, and I was just so like outraged and angry and like posting everything on my social media account about like, sign this petition, use your voice, speak out right now. But then I think it's also like very easy for people who are speaking out and encouraging people who are usually silent on topic like this to like use their voice. It's very easy to get caught up in like reposting and bringing awareness to other people, but then not like following it up with actions ourselves. So if I'm going to be posting, I'm going to be like encouraging people to speak out, I'm encouraging people to sign petitions, I have to be doing that myself. And I have signed petitions, I donated to a couple, but now it's just, there's a lot of petitions that haven't reached their goal yet. And I've seen a couple like Twitter threads like, oh, petitions that, like a thread of petitions that haven't met their goal, or a thread of like other petitions that still need signing. So, oh, I'm out of breath. Like I'm always out of breath when filming. So I want to bring attention to those petitions today, and then just go beyond the like George Floyd GoFundMe, George Floyd like raise the degree petition, Minnesota Freedom Fund, like go beyond those and get some of those like broader petitions, or like I don't know the word for it, but the other petitions that haven't had as much time in the light. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, got my handy dandy iPhone, and I'm gonna have to find it. Oh crap, I most definitely deleted the Twitter app, so I need to go ahead and re-download Twitter, because it was a lot. There's a fine line between being aware and being like wrapped up in the media to where it's like unhealthy, and I was definitely far past the unhealthy line of like my media consumption. So okay, so now I have to, I'm gonna like try to search it up. Thread of petitions. Okay, here's one I retweeted 6 days ago. The Black Lives, oh wait, let me screen record so you guys can see what I'm saying. Black Lives Matter movement is not over. Here's a thread of petitions that still need signing. Justice for Belly Mihuna. Okay, so someone assaulted someone whilst knowingly being affected by COVID. So Kennedy Anderson. Great. One petition done. Free John Brandon Lamotte. In January 2019, John Brandon Lamotte of Frankfort, Kentucky was convicted to 11 years in prison for assault in the first degree. Okay. Signing it because the justice system continues to fail Black men, especially Black men with mental illnesses. Sign this petition. Okay, Breonna Taylor petition. I definitely signed this. I did sign it. Why has this not reached its goal? Are we for real? This is for David. Oh yes, I heard of him. Sign this petition, most definitely, because hashtag I'm not a robot. See, that's how you know you signed too many petitions. They think you robots. Justice for Cameron Green. Who is Cameron Green? Cameron Green was shot and killed April 21st by correctional officer Carlton Fiddler after being invited to his home by 2 teenage girls. Fiddler covered up the incident after shooting Cameron multiple times, claiming Cameron broke into his home. Fiddler killed Cameron and he tampered with evidence while portraying Cameron as a home invader. Fiddler planted his home items in the pockets of Cameron to make the allegation of a home invasion true. Dang. Sign this petition. I'm not a robot. Crosswalks. Crosswalk. Verify. Sign this petition. Next petition. Justice for Joseph. Almost 5 years ago, Joseph disappeared, and 5 days later he was found with approximately 66 pounds of rocks strapped to his chest, floating in Griffey Lake right outside of IU Bloomington's campus. He was last seen out with his fraternity brothers of Sigma Pi. He was found with binoculars around his neck, most likely from being out there with his brothers to catch a rare glimpse of the blood moon phase that was happening that night. He was a pre-pharmaceutical science major, a great swimmer, and was destined to do incredible things, but his life was stolen from him and then quickly swept under the rug by Bloomington Police Department. These are the facts. They have always been the facts, and will never stop sharing this history until something is done about it. This could be your brother. This is a clear homicide. Signed that petition. Okay, for Darren Rainey. I heard about him. This was a man who had mental illnesses, and he was like put in the shower for 2 hours. Here we go. They boiled him alive. And I saw the photos too on Twitter. So I'm happy that this petition is getting some coverage. Justice for Christopher. My brother Christopher Terrell was gunned down by 2 Caucasians claiming to be contractors on December 11th, 2015. His assailants were never charged due to their connections with Cincinnati Police Department. Christopher was walking to his grandmother's house after leaving a friend's house when the killing took place. The Cincinnati Police Department attempted to say it was a robbery on Christopher's part, although there wasn't a gun found on the scene. Multiple witnesses came forward and said Christopher didn't have a gun but were turned away. Sometimes it's like, I'm signing because, like, sometimes it's like you don't, like, there's no other reasons. It's like, how many times can you say that some people don't deserve to be killed for no reason? Like, it's just like, I'm signing because y'all keep killing black people. Yeah, I think that's why I'm signing. Demand a retrial for Angel Bumpus, wrongfully convicted 13-year-old with a life sentence. On October 3rd, 2019, 10 years later, Angel Bumpus was found guilty of a murder that was committed in 2009 by a jury after only 4 hours and 30 minutes approximately of deliberation. Around 6 that morning, 2 detectives came to her door shockingly with a warrant for a felony murder to be served to Angel May 2018, a murder that she had no knowledge of. The evidence against Angel was 2 partial fingerprints that supposedly came from the tape that was used to tie the victim up. The tape in question also had 9 other fingerprints that are unknown and were not investigated. A hair was later found on the duct tape 10 years later. The hair was never tested. Angel's lawyers never got the actual duct tape to lift their own prints. What? Angel was wrongfully convicted. Signed. Alright, so who do we have now? Justice for 1-year-old Katera. Oh my god, I heard this. She was left in the car. On May 23rd, Katera Jenkins Barker life was cut tragically short. It wasn't by cancer or by an act of God. It was by the hands of her caretaker and soon to be adoptive father, Matt Barker. So Matt Barker was visibly distant and cold during Katera's first birthday party. Less than 2 weeks after Katera's first birthday, at 12 a.m., Deja gets an unexpected visit from Bethany Christian about a freak accident involving Katera, but there was no way this was an accident. On May 23rd, Matt Barker was supposed to take both of his children to daycare, where the older child would then be shuttled off to school. Matt claims to be exhausted that day and running late and decided to drive his older daughter to school and double back and drop the baby off at daycare. That never happened. Matt's plan didn't seem logical considering that he claimed to be in a rush. The extra stops on his route would have taken much longer instead of dropping his daughter off at daycare. He arrives home, phones an Uber, and leaves the little Katera to die a slow, painful death. Yeah, I ain't buying it. No, sir. Later that evening, when Matt's wife Jenny went to collect the children, she learns that little Katera never made it to daycare. Frantic, she calls Matt and he tells her, I might have left her in the car. You might have. Katera died strapped to a car seat with the windows rolled up. It was over 100 degrees in that car. She died alone and scared with no one to comfort her. A week after Katera's funeral, Matt went on an island vacation to celebrate her life. What? This was no freak accident. This was first degree premeditated murder. He needs to be charged and sentenced to trial. I think that's like the wording for it, sentenced to trial. Done. Oh yes, this the one right here. Kendrick Johnson, reopen the case. Let's go. We already know they tampered with the evidence. Reopen this case. Done. Justice for Amari Boone. Amari Boone, age 3, went through horrific child abuse resulting to his death while in CPS care and was 1 out of 3 children who died that week alone from severe child abuse. Okay, so we already know what to do here. Arrest his abusers and murderers. Not a robot. And petition. Signed. We are gonna speed this up so y'all don't have to sit here for 40 minutes while I'm signing all these petitions. Please and thank you. Oh. Okay guys, I have signed about every petition I can find. I just wanted to, before I end the video, stress the importance of, I guess, like doing something and doing something that literally can take you, I mean, for me it took a longer time because I was like filming the video too, but you know, some people said it only took them 15 minutes to like sign literally a whole thread full of petitions. And it's just, you can, by signing, by putting your name on something, you can bring awareness. Like a lot of these things, so much stuff only like, so justice only gets served for black men and black women like this because like the media is bringing attention to it. Like people with followings and like big platforms are bringing attention to it. And if George Floyd's murder wasn't videotaped, if Ahmaud Arbery, especially Ahmaud Arbery, because the video didn't surface until March, and I think he was like killed in February or January, something like that. And you know, that's like the only way we can get justice for these people and like to protect these people, hold on, my knees, is if we do bring awareness, if we do like do something. So the only reason, sometimes the only way you can help, even if you don't have a bunch of money, like I don't have a bunch of money, I'm not rich in any way, shape or form, like I can't, you know, donate thousands of dollars or, you know, but little by little counts. You can even watch videos that help to donate. I'll link Aaliyah Simone's video, or I'll put it like right here. I watched that video in full. Don't skip the ads, and you'll be donating to the Black Lives Matter cause. And I think it was like George, I don't remember what exactly, like what organization she is specifically donating to, but whatever like money she gets from that monetization of that video is going towards the Black Lives Matter movement. Let's stay focused and keep the momentum going, even though it's been about 2 weeks since George Floyd has been murdered. But this is not the end, this is not even the beginning, because this has been happening for far too long far too long. But if we each individually take a step and take initiative and do whatever we can that's in our control, we can affect change. So love you guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming this summer, and I definitely want to start talking more about political things and social issues, because I do that alone in myself, and that's just a part of me that I haven't like brought over to my YouTube channel side. But I'll definitely channel my inner Tariq Ali and start talking about social issues and making those type of videos, because I'm very passionate about that. I'm very much an activist person. If you follow my Instagram, you would know that. But it's more so about like taking the step to bring that side of me to YouTube and to highlight that side of me here on this platform. So love you guys. Do what you can to stay involved in the movement, to keep the movement going and keep the momentum strong. Besitos.